Okay. Hi, everyone. So this afternoon, I'd like to introduce you to Chad Charles. So Chad has been an integral part of the I Am workshops and retreats, both the physical ones that we've done at the center and these online ones as well. Chad is amazing. He's a good friend, amazing trusted facilitator, and his approach to the breath work really aligns with my own approach to the meditation. And it's a very balanced and you could say a middle way sort of approach. And out of all the techniques I've encountered, seems to be very effective. And so I'll turn you over to Chad. We'll be standing by. The breath work can lead to releasing of energy, purifying of samskaras. So if you feel you need assistance at any time during the event, you can just click the raise hand feature and we'll assist you in a breakout room if needed. So I will turn you over to Chad.
Hello, everybody. I want to, preface this this time that we have together for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, of just letting you know that I am in the jungle in Mexico with a satellite link. And sometimes there's little blips of connectivity. And so what I've discovered is that they're nothing other than little blips. And so if there's a little bit of a jagged blip in the audio, it'll come right back on just in a matter of some seconds. So just so you know, it's rare that there's a complete cut altogether, but it could be that there are little gaps of audio and video that come in. But for the most part, you won't be needing to see anything. You'll simply be listening. And so I want to set you up for this breathwork experience in a good way. And I trust that you have had the opportunity, especially if you're new to breathing with me in person or online here in these I Am retreats, that you've been able to see the guided breath work, where I use a visualization to support certain qualities that we can glean from the breath. There's a certain wisdom that we can glean from the breath, and really utilizing the capacity that we have in our lungs to bring in this vital element, the air, the oxygen coming into our body, really using that space on the inhale. Doesn't mean that it has to be hurried, but that there's an invitation to fill yourself up. And then on the exhale, as in the guided breath work, that's where we get to let go of the doing. And so there's this two elements within the breath cycle. There is a conscious doing somehow, at least at the beginning, on our inhale. And there is a conscious undoing or letting go in that exhale. And so I want to, some of you I see are already set up, and that's wonderful. I want to just have a few words on how to best set you up in your space. What I'm going to recommend for most of you, and it's a recommendation, right? It's not a request, but it is something that I find to be helpful, and that is for you to be horizontal, for you to be laying down for the time during the breath. That's something that you might start to do now if you have that element. And if you are changing your position and where you're at, even though you don't need to see anything on the screen, Part of my being a guide in this experience is for me to be able to see what is happening in your breath. And so, if you can, with whatever device you have, the laptop, the tablet, the phone, when we are at the time to breathe, which is when there'll be music, it's not quite yet, but what I'll want to see, and this is a bit of an ask, is that your video is turned towards your torso so that I might be able to see the flow of the air coming in and leaving your body. I don't need to really see your face, so that's helpful too sometimes. And yet, it's really about the torso. I can see, right, when you bring the air in, the belly rises, the chest will rise a little bit. And when you're breathing out, all of that, yeah. And so what that means, well, how can I help you when there's, scores or hundreds of you on the screen, is that I am and the team are just having quick glances at what's going on with your breath and in your experience. We'll be consciously breathing for about an hour to music. And you'll also hear my voice over the music. And at the beginning, we might have to adjust the sound a little bit, and the team at Awaken the World will figure that out for you, just to know to know that you're able to hear what I'm saying over top of the music. That also might mean, and the music is very evocative. And so the optimal setup is that you might have some headphones, maybe even some really good quality headphones, or a speaker that's plugged into. It's not an ask, it's not a requirement, but it does really add to the experience. And so horizontal with headphones or some good speakers. That also means, because we're going into a little bit of a journey. And just like you might want to be uninterrupted in any of your meditation practices, or any other practice for that matter, to be sure that your device is on some sort of do not disturb mode, right? That no notifications are coming in, no vibrations are happening on that device you forgot about in your room, right? So take this time now to really set yourself up for an uninterrupted time. And of course, for those of you who are choosing not to be on video, I won't be able to make any adjustments or assists, is what I like to call them. Now, as I watch your body breathing, it's not about you breathing correctly or incorrectly. But there are ways in which I can perhaps add something to you. And the way that I might do that is, say, for example, I might say, Ryan, take a little bit more breath. See if you can bring that breath right up into your chest. Yeah, okay. And I can see that on the video. So if you're not sharing your video, of course, I won't be saying your name at all, or commenting, or making any assists to the way that I see your breath moving through your body, and that's okay. It's my aim and my goal to be in best service to you, and so seeing how the breath moves in your body is ideal. And if that's not possible or desired, that's okay. For those of you still, finding that space, you might want to have some tissue on hand, or maybe a little bit of water that you don't have to get up for later, so that you can really just be in this zone that doesn't have to be interrupted by your needs. That your water is there if you need it, that there's some tissues there if you need it. Why tissues? Well, as Dan said, energy can be moving during these sessions, and energy will often show up as if it were in motion. And so you can anticipate perhaps some emotion. And some emotions manifest as tears coming up, or maybe even saliva or snot that's there and that you just want to take care of with a little bit of tissue that's beside you so you don't have to interrupt your process. Because what I really wish for you is that during this hour when we begin, that you'll simply be able to be with your breath, to really just stay with what you're doing. That's the work in the word breath work. There's a little bit of work. And that work is simply maintaining your presence, your awareness onto what you're doing until the point where the breath is just breathing you. And there is no need to make any focused, attentive concentration on what you're doing because it's happening anyways and already. Yeah. So I see many of you lining yourselves up, setting yourselves up. You're horizontal. That's great. Now, some of us, if you have conscious connected breathwork experience before, or any kind of conscious breath before, of course, there's that conscious choice that you have to breathe in and out through your nose or in and out through your mouth. Now, here is my lead-in to that, for that choice that you want to make. Now, if you're not accustomed to breathing in and out through your mouth, and you don't want to, well, don't. That's okay. What I'll say is that that passageway, that entry point for bringing the air into your body, is that much more open, right? The channels are wider that comes through your mouth and into your lungs. And so there's a greater ease when you put forth that conscious effort on your inhale to fill those lungs. And of course, the breath will flow from your body just that much sooner and more easily because those channels are more open. If you breathe in and out through your nose, well, the opposite is true. The passageways are a little narrower. And so to bring in a full breath of air takes a little bit more of a conscious effort. And when you let the air out, of course, it comes out a little bit slower because those passageways are a little narrower than when you're breathing out through your mouth. So, in other words, if you choose to breathe in and out through your mouth, well, you could be generating that energy that Dan spoke of, maybe a little bit sooner, maybe a little bit more intensely. And if you choose to breathe in and out through your nose, the opposite will be true. A little bit calmer, perhaps. And of course, you can switch it up throughout. In fact, you might even hear me say something like, hey, Judith, what would it be like if you just took that breath and brought it in and let it out through your nose instead of your mouth right now? Okay. And that's not a cue for everybody to do that at the same time. That's really for Judith because I'm watching and seeing what's happening on the screen with her. Yeah. Well, for those who are on video, I can see that there's a readiness here. Yeah. I see some familiar names and less familiar names. Thank you for showing up today, for you and your relationship to your breathing and all that it brings. And before I go in, I want to speak to that. What does it bring? What is happening here? What is this experience that we might be talking about? And of course, if you're new to this, when we're breathing consciously for an hour, it's a lot longer than in that short guided experience that was maybe 10, 15 minutes long. And so for an hour, we're literally bringing more oxygen cells into your body, simply because we're conscious about it. We're being conscious of our breath. Normally, when we do that, we take in more air than when we're not aware of our inhale. And so when we're connecting that, and maintaining that for an hour. Wow, we're really super oxygenating the whole system. And that's what catalyzes that generation of energy that can be felt. And so when you feel that, if you feel that energy, oftentimes it happens, maybe you feel a little bit in your extremities, right? The hands, the fingers, maybe a little bit in your face, like around your mouth. And that's okay. That's exactly what is not expected, as in that's what you need to feel, but in the sense that it is completely normal and okay that you feel that. And even if it's a little bizarre or maybe even startling, what I'd like to say now is that number one, you can't do this wrong. This isn't about breathing correctly or incorrectly or getting better at breathing. If you're breathing now, which I guarantee you are, all is well, right? You're breathing just fine. And there are moments in life where we might notice that our breathing is happening in a particular way that's usually linked to what's happening in our nervous system. And yeah, when you generate energy and super oxygenate your body, there's your nervous system is reading that, picking up on that. What is going on? Is that a familiar feeling? Is that a new feeling? Right? What's it doing? And even when there might be this curiosity about, wow, what is this energy that I feel? What are these emotions? Maybe thoughts, sensations in my body, is to just keep breathing. In other words, I invite you to trust whatever it is that you're experiencing simply because all you're doing is breathing. And somehow, what this breath brings us when we get into it, I trust. And I invite you to trust the same. Maybe it's comfortable, maybe it's uncomfortable. I don't know. It'll be different for everybody, and we'll get to hear a little bit from everybody after. But you might hear me say, keep breathing along the way. Doesn't mean that you have to breathe more or differently, but just bring your awareness into that big inhale. It can be long and slow. It doesn't have to be fast. This isn't a Wim Hof workshop where we're attempting to achieve something. But we're offering this time to get a little more intimate with our breath and everything that comes with it, which is most of our experience in our waking life. Yeah. Now, again, I'll be speaking over top of the music, mostly at the beginning, just kind of offering a little bit of guidance as we enter into it. I might have to have a little bit of adjustment to the volume here and there, but we got this. There's nothing that you have to see on the screen during the time of the breath when the music is on. There's nothing here that I'm showing you, and there's nothing really other to see on the screen other than people laying down and breathing, right? So you can be in your own experience. You might want to have your eyes closed. You can have your eyes open, whatever feels comfortable for you. And for those of you who are seated, yes, I see you comfortable and your back is supported. Even when you're seated, you get to just allow as little of the autonomic nervous system to have to do anything, right? You can just settle into that seat. Great. All right. Most of you are already there. It's almost like you're already in your breathwork process, and I'll turn it into the actual session here soon with the music so that you're not just falling asleep to my words. And if at any moment you need to break or interrupt whatever process that you're in, you're welcome to sit up, You're welcome to put up your hand if you're on video. Me and or the team will see that, and of course we can't address you privately, but we can by video anyway. You can go into a chat room with the team. All right. And of course, once I start the music, you might have to adjust the volume on whatever speakers that you have or headphones, and that's okay. We're in no hurry. There's lots of time to go into what super oxygenating your breath will do. And so, we'll begin. Thank you, thank you, thank you for bringing your precious, precious awareness to your breath. So tuning in to what you learned, experienced if you followed the guided breathwork before today, before this session, is taking time to allow the air to fill your lungs. Making some adjustments for volume so far here. Get it back to this way for the rest of the hour. So when you bring that air in on every inhale, just imagine your own cup being filled. Imagine that when you begin every inhale, the air goes right down to your abdomen. And as you continue breathing in, you're filling that torso up. Feeling your belly rise, the air rising towards your sternum and your sternum rising. And finally, right up to the top, right to the top of your chest, rising, filling your lungs from empty to full, taking all the time you want. And when your lungs are full, when you've reached the perhaps capacity of what your lungs can take in a single inhale, without even a pause, without even a moment's blink, there's the dropping and allowing the air to leave without pushing it, without holding it back. And you might be surprised how quickly your lungs may go from full to empty just because you're allowing it to do so. And even though your lungs may be empty in just a second or two, a little bit longer for those who are breathing out through their nose, without a pause, without dwelling in that empty space, bring your breath in again. Make the inhales and the exhales be circular and fluid without stopping in between the in and out breaths. Parvana, imagine that after you've emptied those lungs, that right at the beginning, the air is filling your belly. Even before it gets to your chest, your belly rises. Feel that part of your torso getting filled when the inhale begins. Nassim, I bet that your lungs could hold even more air. What would it be like if you extended your inhale to even longer in duration? That's it. Beautiful start to your breath, everyone. Evie, I invite you to slow your inhale down even more. Imagine every inhale being 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 seconds long. Slow it down, savor it. Stay with your breath, everyone. Thoughts, feelings, let them all be there. Allow your awareness to just be, for now, on the air entering your body and then dropping it, just allowing it to leave your body. As you get into that circular flow, you might notice how your inhales are much longer than your exhales. And if you notice that, it just means your inhales are even though they're quick, it just means that you're letting the air free from any contraction or resistance. Honolulu, beautiful breath. Beautiful breath. Even when the shaking happens, that's okay. Allow your attention to be on a slow inhale. Beautiful. If you're feeling your breath to be lethargic or a little slow, full permission at this point to bring forth some more energy into the inhale. Leo, bring your attention to the slower inhale. Trust that breath, all is well, and slow your inhale down. Yes. Beautiful. If you notice muscles in your mouth contracting, getting tight, just a quick reminder that no muscles in the face are required to allow all of your mouth, your jaw, your mouth, relax. Using the diaphragm to draw the air in. Keep breathing. Full permission for full expression. Any movement in your body is welcome. Any sound wanting to come from you is welcome here. Enjoy. This might be a time for you to let out a long sound. Take a big breath in and let out a long sound as long as you can. Hum or hum. Kelly, keep the breath moving, keep it going in fully. Yeah, Kelly, that's it. Let the sound, the music meet you in all of the fullness of your experience. But make no mistake, the breath itself is your guide. Follow your breath. Stay curious with your breath. Beautiful movement leaves, yes, moving through the energy that has surfaced. Beautiful. Laura, I bet you could bring more air into that body. Spend more time on your interest. Marianne, what if your exhale was just a fraction of how long it took you to inhale? Ardea, I'd like you to do something quickly with me. After your next exhale, just hold your breath, breathing at the end of your next exhale. Stop. When you're ready, on your next exhale, make it the slowest and longest inhale you ever taken. That starts with the air going right into your pelvis and right up, eventually into your chest. And if you need to do that again, hold the breath on. Full invitation to be met right where you are with what the breath has brought you now, today. Keep breathing. glory. Imagine all that energy that you're putting into your breath is totally let go of and relax on each out breath, allowing the out breath to involve no effort, no contraction. This part of the cycle that you can observe, all the doing, bringing all the doing into your community. Keep breathing. Monique, allow that gentle, full inhale to surf and ride those waves. For those of you finding your breath to still be high frequency, turnover between inhales and exhales, very quick. Tune into the sound right now. Tune into the tempo of the sound coming from the speaker. Meet that sound with your inhale, extending it long, full. As we meet the breath ever more deeply, making friends with the very thing that is there with us from the moment we're born to the moment we die. Can we appreciate and be grateful for all the sensations, all the pursed lips or the contracted fingers, or the flutterings in the abdominal muscles, all the feelings. Just be there, to be okay with them, to thank them. Thank you, breath. Give a moment and appreciate, be grateful for all the thoughts, memories, or the images for the recurring ones here, present with you now. Asking for your presence. So with that presence, breathe deeply in. May your inhales be gentle, full.
Sometimes things get a little bit complicated. Sometimes things, they're just overrated. When I get to something I don't understand,
Susie,
all I need to do
bring some simple,
take your
slow inhale.
hand. All I need to do
Pretend that none of your inhales require any other muscle
when I get up to
than
the
your
hill,
diaphragm.
decide I'm gonna jump in.
None of your
Wonder if
muscles are required
I'll be caught
to
on
bring
the
air
way.
into your lungs
Will it
or for the
take
air
me
to leave.
to the other side after I dive into this great divide? Oh, sometimes things get a little bit complicated. Sometimes things they're just overrated. When I get to something I don't understand, all I need to do is let go. And take your hand. All I need to do is let go. We're all divine, and we're entwined, and nothing's gonna change that, not even your mind. I said we're all divine, and we're entwined, yeah, and nothing's gonna change that, not even your mind. Oh Lord, lift me up. Oh man, don't ever stop. Oh, but now lift me up. I just want you to hold me and don't ever stop. Sometimes things get a little bit complicated. Sometimes things they're just overrated. When I get to something I don't understand, all I need to do is let go. Take your hand. All I need to do is let go.
Ryan tuning into the sound from the speaker, allowing that energetic charge to encounter a long, slow inhale. Whatever charge is there for all of us, I invite you to receive that as a gift. A gift that your precious attention on your breath can offer you in devoted and intentional and sacred times such as these that you have so generously offered yourself. Holding and beholding with as little judgment as possible. Holding. Maybe, maybe as you bask maybe there's comfort, maybe there's
You come into a place where your breath is just settling in the body. Just allow yourself to be here.
If there was a break, that was on my end, here in the jungle. Trying to connect to a satellite way up above. Thank you for breathing through life's interruptions. And so, with that little blip in connectivity, some of us have come back to our virtual space, and some of you are still there, still in whatever process, whatever experience that you have. If you're laying down still, or sitting, or still capturing what has been there for you in this last hour, gently and gradually bring your attention
So it looks like Chad is having continuous problems here. So just gradually make your way up whenever you're ready. Just moving slowly and gently.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you, Kayana. Being here when I'm unable to be here in the moments. I'm here.
Dan, I think your mic has a whole bunch of feedback.
Yeah. All right. So, am I being heard right now? Just so I know. Yes,
He can
some
hear you. Yeah.
odds are on. All right. I thought the feedback was coming from my computer, so it was taking me a long time to figure that out. Hi, everybody. Welcome back from wherever you were. I'm seeing many faces coming from having been lying down. Almost everybody is back with us. If you want to lay down, please, by all means, there's nothing really that you need to see here. Apparently, you can hear me, so that's good. And what I'd love to do is for the next little while, and with Tayama's help, is to invite some shares. And there might be some questions about your experience, but really, this is an opportunity to share what was there for you. Maybe it's something biophysical, like, oh, my body was doing this, or maybe it was that the mind's commentary about what was happening, and yet I'm going to invite something even more specific than that. What was there? Can you name the emotion that arose? Are you comfortable sharing the thoughts that were there? Because the more that we get into what is there for us, the more permission we're creating for others to share that. And we will, I guarantee it, be amazed at how different and unique each breath journey is for each person. Yeah. And so there's a few hands up already. I might not be going in order, but I think I did see Lara's hand first. And then after that, I'll just let you, Tayama, pick and choose how
Perfect.
the order is. Yeah.
There's a few people asking for a bathroom break, Chad. Is that a
Oh,
few
by
people
all
asking for a quick break?
by all means,
Possible?
consider this out of your journey, out of your session. If your attention is already here and on the biological needs that are present, by all means, and just know that you just might miss a share or two if you go to the washroom. And come on back with us, Lara.
Hi, Shad.
Hello.
Hi. What a pleasure to be in your presence always.
Hmm.
So, at the beginning, there was a lot of resistance, and I realized how shallow I still breathe, and this is just my normal pattern, and it's still there. And all at the point when you call my name and you ask me to breathe 4 times the length, all of a sudden something opened up, and and all of a sudden a memory from the Camino came up, which was um, at the end of the Camino when I realized that Lara had been sedentary for the last 8 years, and this body hasn't moved enough. And so all of a sudden I wanted to say, okay, I'm gonna go the Camino again. But then I said, no, no, that's not it. It's not that. It's just about moving. It's about allowing the body and the energy to flow. And so the Camino lives in me, and all that is available is in here. So I just need to be again very mindful of the energy to the body and allow to to move, basically, essentially just to move. So I'm gonna pick up running. That was it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your share. Thank you for sharing this very personal insight. And may your new year be full of movement. And that doesn't mean you need to go anywhere.
No, I know.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Susie, you're next.
I don't hear you yet, Susie. I think you're on mute.
Am I good now? Can you hear me?
Hi, I hear you.
Okay, so I I get this really bad pressure right here, right at the end when I got up. Like, I mean, I don't even get like I don't get headaches. Like, I only get headaches when I eat ice cream fast, and it was just like that's like a main thing because that was like kind of freaked me out. But then my second thing is just process wise. I don't think I ever like breathing. Like you're really starting. I think it's what the gal before alluded to. Like I never breathe. Like breathing to me means like start here. Like you're supposed to fill your belly first, right? Like that's what, just so I'm clear that I was doing that, right? You like literally start down there and bring it up after you have kind of like pushed your stomach out. Is that right?
It's one way to assure that your lungs are truly getting full. I don't want to get into there's a right way to breathe or a wrong way to breathe. You can't do this wrong. And that's a piece of instruction that most minds have a hard time accepting. And the invitation here is to like, yeah, since we're consciously breathing, might as well bring full air into our lungs. And one of the ways to do that is to send that air down into the abdomen, getting the air into the lower lobes of the lung, and imagining that filling up like a cup of water from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
And
So
when
like
you do
starts
that
there. Your whole
daily,
breath starts down there. Okay. I just never did it before, so it was like weird. Like yeah, breathing isn't hard, but like I had to be conscious of it. So anyway, this pressure right here, like just I don't maybe that's just I don't know. I mean, beyond that, at one point there's just so much energy, like I could just feel like vibration and everything, like more around, I guess, around my chest. But yeah, what do you think this
mm, I don't know.
thing? Okay.
However, what I will say is that, whatever physical experience, sensation we have, whether it's like an energetic or really muscular, for example, or any emotion or any thought, again, any phenomena of experience, if it's got your attention during the session, after the session, this to me is a clue, a key, a point, catalyzing and initiating further inquiry. And sometimes it's problematic. We are human meaning making machines. We want to make meaning and understand everything. And it might be perplexing, it might be clear. In the case where you're curious about that, that's my offering to you is be curious. Don't dismiss it and slough it off like, oh yeah, it was really weird. But there might be some wisdom that's there. So allow that to be a doorway, a portal into some more discovery.
Okay. So nothing to do with the third eye, the placement of it, nothing, just whatever. Yeah, maybe not, whatever. Right,
I have
just
no
yeah.
idea if it's whatever. I don't know what it is for you. That's for you to discover.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Elle Hansen.
Hi, El Hansen. When you're ready, you can take yourself off mute so I can hear you.
You hear me now?
I do now.
Hello, Chad. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Perfect. Actually, when you told me that bring your breath more to your chest, I had emotion of crying, right?
Mm,
And you gave me another idea to put my the air, my breath, until my neck.
mm.
Because usually, always, when I lie down, my neck always is holding, always.
Tense. Uh-huh.
Tense, very tense.
Uh, uh.
So, do you think is a good practice? Like I bring my breath to my neck. After that, I release for to release my neck.
Hmm. Well, a couple of things that I would say. One is crying isn't the emotion, but there was an emotion that allowed crying to happen. And so, what could be really curious for you is to inquire, like, oh, what emotion was there that had me crying? Maybe it was sadness. Maybe it was a part of grief. Maybe it was joy. I don't know. Um, but get curious about what the emotion is or was, and allowing that perhaps to be linked to this somatic element of your being, right? If these things are happening concurrently, get curious about that. Get curious about the synchronicity of what's happening. There's an emotion, there's an emotional manifestation, a release, and there's this physical sensation happening at the same time. Huh. Now, your question is, what do I do about it? I don't know. But I think stay curious. Huh.
Mm.
There's an emotion. What is it? It's here. Is it always there? Is that something new? I don't know. Maybe this needs some attention. Maybe getting a massage is a really good idea. I don't know. But when I think of the channel that we're using energetically from the root to the crown, well, that goes well beyond this neck. It goes well beyond the third eye. It goes up. And so you could breathe into your neck. You could breathe beyond your neck. You get to discover and stay curious.
Perfect. How about my eyes? My eyes, I feel the pressure in my eyes. I feel it
Hmm.
too
Yeah.
much.
So your
Like I
question
feel
is,
like the pressure go up like that. And I cannot how to describe it, but I
pressure in
think
your eye.
you know that. Yeah. And uh, always looking for techniques.
Uh-huh. Right. Well, perhaps a technique that you could bring is just the technique of noticing.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Just notice and stay curious with what you find. Observe and then go from there.
Okay.
The technique is all about the doing. I want to do something about it. Okay.
Mm.
What if there was nothing to do and you just let your awareness observe what's there? Stay curious.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
sharing.
you. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll go to Ina next.
Hello.
Hello, Chad. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
very well.
First of all, thank you so much. I've never done any breathwork exercises, so this was quite an experience for me. In the very beginning, really trying to concentrate on getting that breath everywhere in the torso.
Mm,
And the exhale was really difficult for me because I'm always the low and slow exhale.
yeah.
But as I started to get lost in that breath and other things started happening, it seemed like the most natural thing in the world. It was just happening and I was just there with it. One of the things that was sort of a roadblock in the beginning were my hands. were full of so much energy, they felt like they were cramping, and I wouldn't move. I don't know why. Well, maybe a fear, or maybe I thought that I wasn't supposed to move. But when I started getting moving with the energy and letting that happen, it was amazing. The breath pattern would change. It was okay. There was a huge emotional release. And I really want to say that for the first time this week, there was a letting go. There was a true letting go. And it was amazing. So I just thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that precious share. Beautiful. Happy New Year.
Thank you. We'll go with Outman.
Hi, Outman. Take yourself off of mute, or maybe somebody has to take you. There we go.
I know. Hi,
Hey.
chat. So I'm going to share my experience very quickly. So actually, this is not first time I experienced what I have experienced today. So as soon as I let the energy to flow, and I let the breath, so I breathe as I want to breathe. I'm and suddenly I'm jerking. There's a lot of head in my body. Um, it's feel like there's a control inside my body and want um to become inside. And then I feel a lot of tightness in my eyes, in my mouth, and as soon as this jerking going, I feel peaceful, and also my breath is not more coarse, is very subtle. So yeah, so this thing about what I have experienced during this practice, and I have already experienced that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, hearing that, I imagine that just allowing more of us to feel that, oh, yeah, that too can happen. This is also okay and normal. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll go to Alex.
Hey, Alex. I don't hear it just yet.
There you go.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I do, yes.
First of all, I just want to thank you and and Dan and everybody on the team. Um, I've never done this before, and I just kind of went all in, and I just trusted. I trusted you and trusted myself, and then I felt the strength of my being in my hands, and then just bathed myself with my being, and I just want to. It's like it was the strength of 50 years is over 50 years of suffering, and I just can't thank you enough. So thank you. Thank you to everyone else.
Alex, you're so, so welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. And may this opening that you're feeling and experiencing be full of an input of blessings into this new year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Tanya.
while we're getting Tanya set up, I thought I would just add some of the tracks with the artists' names of this playlist that I used. It's not completely full, but they're mostly there, so you can check those artists out with the track names yourself. Yeah. Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Chad. I want to offer an immense gratitude. I'm going to try not to choke this out. I do a lot of breath work. And this experience today gave rise to an immense release of something that has been there my whole existence in this body. As we were going, there was a point that all of a sudden I just felt so much ease in the lungs, like so much ease. And then, I can't even say a souvenir. It's just something arose, a memory, but without having any kind of visual. Like I wouldn't be able to explain the memory. It was a memory that popped up. And then the body, well, first of all, then all of a sudden, when the body started shaking into the Kundalini energy, there was a huge release there, a lot of heat. And one of the songs on your playlist was exactly the same song as when I did a medicine journey. So that dove me, excuse me, even deeper into the process of releasing. It was as if it was like a continuation of the last healing from that medicine journey I did in the month of May. Wow. And it just, the waves just of, and I could feel the healing. Like there's something that is completely released in my lungs. It's still releasing right now. I could still feel the heat. I've had eczema on my arms for months, and I can feel the heat of it being released in this moment right now. Mm. And a contact afterwards, it was just beingness. I was being breathed. I was just there. So immense gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You're so welcome. What an honor to be part of your healing journey.
We're going to go with Michael next.
Is it Michael or Michelle?
Oh, maybe Michelle.
Yeah. Hi, Chad. Pleased to meet you. You make me laugh. I feel invited to say something. And thanks for the playlist. I was wondering how to get that. I do a lot of breathing, of course, but breath work, no. This was the first time. When everything slowed down, when the breath slowed down and became waves, then I became the wave. I was like, I was the beach, the water flowing. It's magnificent. It got bigger. It got very space. I've had hardly any thoughts during the whole thing, except like, whoa, I want to find some of this music. Like I think it was Japanese, and there's some more. It's brilliant. Thank you, John.
You're very, very welcome. I'm happy that there was something new and surprising for you here today.
Yeah, there was, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll call upon Christian next, please.
Hi, Christian. Hi.
Hi, Chad. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, Dan, and the team for the work thus far. It's been profound and an adventure. So For me, breathwork wise, I tend to spend a lot of time breathing through the nose and use breath to modulate calmness and peace. So to the first instance of going back to breathing just through the mouth, I found it a bit difficult. But as soon as I got into after sort of the first three breaths, I started to notice that where I've been having aches and pains and things show up in the seated position during the meditations, that was starting to release. About two or three points throughout with some of the different music, my body and my inner child just want to have a giggle. And as it giggled, it instantly released. So I felt the energy shift there. So I've done like light work and been tuned by Reiki master way, way back. So it helped just release whatever was there or just been stored there for a long time and my shins and different areas. And then at the very end, when you cut out, I just sort of felt naturally that I wanted to arch my back, and I literally arched my back, and about T3, T2 just popped and just released. I was like, ah, oh, that's where this where it was stuck. So just blessings and thank you, and love and light to everyone here as well for showing up and putting into it. So thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Hearing that, I'm reminded of how much there's an element of waking up when we're having awakening experiences. We're waking up, and then something that also comes with the breath work is the cleaning up of the grooves, all of the samskara, Dan might say, and it's energetic, and sometimes it has content, and sometimes there's like these codes that are the trigger, the release, right? So the inadvertent, now I've cut out and there's no music and no voice, and you do something with your body, and somehow that was the way that this particular cleaning up needed to happen. Who could have known? Who could have orchestrated such a thing? So there's what I like to think of as a mystery here, and I'm grateful for it. And thank you for your share.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to let everyone know we have about 7 minutes left and probably more hands than we have to answer. But Dan will be sharing Chad's contact information and you'll be able to reach out. We're going to move to Ivy next.
Hi, Ivy. I don't hear you yet.
Can you unmute? Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Hey, thanks, Chad.
Oh, I don't hear you anymore again.
Yeah, you're muted.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Thanks a lot. That was yeah, a lot of things are still moving. And there's movement. I don't know if I've ever breathed that deep. So the visualization that you shared yesterday, I noticed that was really helpful. And I was just imagining this one waterfall that's dear to me and just kind of allowing that waterfall to fill me, and that really helped to open up that space. So thanks for that visualization yesterday as well. And then there was a really smooth kind of rising of the tingling first in my abdomen, in my belly. It felt like being massaged from the inside out. And then the claws thing happened, the tingling in the hands. And then there was this kind of pressure, as if my whole body was being pushed down. That happened, and everything tingled, but it was really enjoyable, as if some kind of massage by God. It was really lovely. And then I noticed that my left knee, where I have pain sometimes, is just a lot of spiraling was happening there. And then all the tingling kind of focused there and then just kept going, and pain, I don't feel it now. So it's really lovely. And at this point, I feel twitches and things moving and things spiraling in my body. So it was a very physical experience for me this time around. And in the middle, I had a really clear insight around something I need to do. So I was just being with that and just observing. It's just my mind's getting in the way of what's happening. But I'll sit with it a bit longer. But it just felt really clear, and it had nothing to do with anything I'd been meditating on. It just came out of nowhere like a shot, So yeah, thanks a lot. It was great.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It reminds me of how valuable it also can be, in the immediate after, like right now, is journaling or capturing some of the insights, right? They're so satisfying to have insights and clarity, like, capture those, write those down, record them somewhere, even if it's a remembering of like that crescendo of sensation that then all of a sudden vanished, capturing that somehow and letting that even register in different ways by doing so is pretty important. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we have time, I think, for one last question. And is there anybody here that's never asked a question? Sammy, have you asked a question before? No. Okay, okay, Sammy, you're up. Here we go.
Hi, Sammy.
Hi, Chad. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thanks for the awesome breath work. Body started to shake from the beginning, and there was it was really, really intense. There was coming up sadness, loss, rage, anger, everything. I was screaming and crying, probably as loud as I could. So the neighbors might be wondering what's going on here, but yeah, I'm really, really grateful. It was beautiful. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah. Hopefully you have the context for full expression. Catharsis doesn't, catharsis can look messy and sound messy. And sometimes it is as we wade through and clear our messes. And I'm happy for you that there is movement, maybe even completion in some of the things that came to the surface for you. Thanks for sharing. It's really important.
Thank you.
Well, Tayama said, now the time is up. And here's Dan to make the segue happen. That's so good. Bye.
Thank you so much, Chad. As always, it's amazing, and yeah, you persevered through the little glitches, but it all, as you said, it was all happening in some sort of perfect orchestration. So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, so thank you, Chad, and so we'll take a little break now. Just maybe a 5-minute break, and then we'll just close this with a little sound journey if you're up for that, or just stay with these vibrations from the breath work. So that'll be coming up in 5 minutes. So,
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.